What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies podcast with Mr. Cincinnati. And conspicuous by his absence is the podcast dad. He is off being a dad right now, but he will be joining me for the second half of our doubleheader tonight. We will be giving our Money in the Bank predictions. We'll be talking a little bit of NXT Heatwave, as well as a little bit more on the Scenic City Invitational Tournament coming up next weekend in Chattanooga, Tennessee, sponsored in part by the Wrestling Junkies podcast. But as always, before we get into everything today, make sure that you're hitting that QR code in the top left corner. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Right now, our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we definitely need your help to do that. So if you know one person that would enjoy our show, please share it with them and let them find out for themselves what kind of environment we're cultivating here at the Wrestling Junkies. There's a lot going on as far as 4th of July sales right now, and I'm sure that everybody has seen the brand new Liv Morgan Lives Finally on Top t-shirt. If you want to snag that t-shirt, do it through our WWE shop affiliate link, also in the corner right there. Everything that we earn, we reinvest back into the Wrestling Junkies podcast. So that means the ability to sponsor more shows and connect with more people in this crazy world of independent wrestling. Before we move on to our guest tonight, also make sure to support our merch store as well. Buy a mug, buy a beanie, buy a tank top, buy a hat. I promise they're coming. But yeah, again, everything that we earn goes right back into the Wrestling Junkies podcast. So it is a labor of love, and we need your help to continue to grow our channel. But without further ado, let me introduce our guest tonight. Our first guest is a powerhouse on the independent wrestling scene. He's a former OVW heavyweight champion, a social media sensation with over 40,000 followers on Twitter, and you might recognize him from the Netflix series Wrestlers. Most recently, he had the distinct pleasure of being one of Chad Gable's security guards the week after the Wyatt 6 attack. Please welcome certified Luke Kurtis to the show. Luke,
Hey.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's up? Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it, dude. And yeah, thank you for putting me over. So I'm happy to be here. Happy to let you know a little bit about my story and yeah, kind of get into it. So
Well, hey,
whatever you
without
got.
further ado, let's absolutely do that. When here at the Wrestling Junkies, we look at the world of wrestling. There are superheroes, supervillains, they clash, but they all have origin stories. So, Luke, just tell us a little bit about some of your earliest memories of pro wrestling.
Before I was a wrestler or
Yeah. What got you into it?
okay.
What's the first thing that you remember when it comes to just this world that we love?
Yeah, so I was a huge John Cena mark growing up. He was my favorite wrestler. I went to a place called Ace Hardware. I got a big chain, a master lock, and I used to walk around my house. You know, it was all thugonomics for me. So Cena and Eddie Guerrero, Jericho, guys like that era of wrestling is kind of really what inspired me. But my mom put me in amateur wrestling. I was a huge wrestling fan, so she ended up putting me in amateur wrestling because I was kind of getting in fights in school and stuff. And she was like, "You need an outlet." And that kind of broke me away from pro wrestling because they were like, "Oh, that's fake. This is real wrestling." So it wasn't until I was an adult again that I actually got back into pro wrestling, and here I am. So I went from being a huge fan as a kid to kind of growing out of it, and now I do it as an occupation, which is it's funny to me, and it's interesting how things come full circle that way.
Yeah, for sure. What was that moment for you that the switch flipped and you knew that this was what you were going to do for a living?
Well, it was actually because of my fiance, Layla Gray. She wanted to be a professional wrestler. And we had never really talked about, that I used to wrestle like growing up. We spoke about it here and there, but it was never
Yeah.
a thing. And she wanted to be a professional wrestler, and I was like, that's weird. But I was not at a good place in my life at the time. I was struggling with addiction and all kinds of other things. And I remember we started the same day. The first day she had went like once or twice and talked to them about it, and then we
Yeah.
decided to go the same day. And I'll never forget. I was telling you the story is when we walked out, I looked over at her, and the first thing I said was, "I'm going to the WWE." Like I just knew it as soon as I stepped in the ring. I was like, "Oh, I got this." Like I could do this because it had brought me back to, like what I was good at was being an athlete. And like I said, I was at a bad place in my life, so it kind of like I don't know. It woke my spirit up in a way. I always tell people wrestling is my salvation. I really feel that way. It's helped me in
Yeah.
so many ways, like become who I am today. And yeah, it's necessary for me, to
Yeah,
be a.
for sure. But speaking of Layla, as you said, you guys are together. You're quite the power couple in wrestling. How do you balance that personal and professional dichotomy of the travel and the stress that comes with this industry. But at the same time, you also have a partner who understands it. So what can that dichotomy look like?
I mean, obviously that helps a lot. When we got into it, we weren't really sure what we were signing up for. And as we learn more and more about what we do and we become more ingrained in it, I think that we have an idea of where we're going and we're able to just kind of plant those things out together. Having a partner in wrestling, the right one, it makes all the difference, because we got together before
Yeah.
we were wrestling. So we had already experienced like some life together. And then doing this together, it's like we're chasing this goal, this dream together. So, you got somebody to always push you and motivate you and help you get through the travel and the hard times, because it's not easy to do it alone. And you'll definitely get discouraged if you don't have somebody with you, or a strong support system. Doesn't necessarily have to be your partner, but you need a strong support system to be a professional wrestler, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Let's talk a little bit of OVW here. As we stated off rip, and unless you've been living under a rock, Wrestlers was a very popular TV show on Netflix, especially kind of, as we're moving away from the pandemic. And again, anybody that has not had a chance to check it out, do yourself a favor and do it. It's brilliantly produced, and hats off to everybody on the production team there. When did you first find out that Netflix was going to be doing a show about wrestling, but specifically about OVW, and kind of what was your initial first reaction to that?
Well, it was I had probably been wrestling for about a year, Layla and I, and we finally made it out to OVW, and then we decided that we were going to make a move out there, but we hadn't known really about the Netflix thing yet. It wasn't until we had moved out there to OVW, and then maybe like a few weeks later, like they started saying like, "Oh, Netflix is going to come do a show on us," and it's wrestling, so a lot of people probably think it wouldn't happen, so people were still a little like
Yeah.
cautious and wary about it, but it was a great thought, a great idea, and then when it actually came to fruition, it was very cool, very surreal. Great to be a part of something like that. Have like those cameras follow us around all these towns throughout Kentucky, and kind of watch us develop. I mean, you don't forget experiences like that, and they help mold you and make you who you're going to be. So it was awesome. It was a great thing. Like, we loved having Netflix around, and I hope they come back at some point. I mean, they've done wonders for OVW being on a platform like that. It's the largest platform in the world. So um
Yeah.
yeah, love Netflix.
Did it change? Did having the camera crew around change up, any of your mental preparation, training, anything like that, or did it kind of just integrate rather seamlessly?
I think they did a phenomenal job of just kind of integrating themselves without us having to worry about them being around. Half the time, you wouldn't even know they were there. There was a promo that was probably like one of my most famous things from the show, where I cut the promo on Al Snow's office. And it
Yep.
was kind of when I first became like certified, really, like when I kind of figured out what it was going to be. And I had no idea that there were Netflix cameras in the room. I didn't know that was going to be on Netflix, because they tucked themselves way back in the corner, and I guess they were talking to Al. But in my mind, I was just thinking like, oh, I got to go in
Yeah.
there, cut this promo, become heavyweight champion. So I'm coming in there with blinders on just to talk to Al, and he's already intimidating enough as it is. So you just kind of got to
Yeah.
stay on pace and don't let he's going to try to what you the whole time. So I just got to stay on pace and like get my point across. And whether he's listening or not, which is funny because Al probably doesn't even hear half the things you say when people come in and do that. But it
Yeah.
shows that you take initiative and that you have courage. Because if you're scared of Al Snow, you're going to be terrified of a wrestling crowd. So he appreciates that type of courage. And
Yeah.
sure enough, Netflix was in there, and that was great for me. That was, everybody talks about that. So yeah, man, they did a good job of just kind of blending in.
Cool. Cool. Well, yeah, let's break this down a little bit more. You're saying that this is kind of the beginning of the certified persona for you. So, in your mind, when you go into Al Snow's office, and you have some idea of what this certified persona is going to be. How'd you come up with it? What did being certified mean to you? And kind of take us through. Here's what I'm going to say to Al, and here's we hear the delivery, but take us through the thought process behind it as you delivered it.
Yeah, it's actually, it's funny because like obviously if you're in wrestling, you kind of know a little more what that promo would maybe mean, but like from a fan looking on the outside, you just see like this arrogant guy come in and try to like state his claim of who he is. But like that one little scene is so like sentimental to me, and it meant a lot. And it's funny that you ask about it, because I do tell this story a lot. of like how that whole thing came together. And it wasn't just like I woke up one day and I was like, oh, I'm about to walk in Al Snow's office and tell him who certified Luke Curtis is. No, I had came to OVW as certified Luke Curtis, but I wasn't wearing robes then. I didn't have the persona that I had. I was wearing like biker shorts and a leather jacket. And our head trainer is Doug Basham. He was the first student of OVW. He's Danny Davis's nephew, former WWE tag champion. You know, Doug's been through it all. So Doug is our head trainer. And he took me to the gym one day and he said, like, listen, this certified thing, he's like, it works for you. Like, there's something there. He's like, but we need to find a way to make it mean something. And he had made some suggestions of what I should do, who I should follow. And I kind of put this whole character together and I sent him pictures and I sent him a video. And Doug was like, okay, everything looks phenomenal. He's like, you're ready to go. He's like, the last thing you have to do is you have to cut a promo on Al Snow. So I was like, oh man, I was super nervous now. You know, I'm like, oh, I thought that I was just going to like, he was going to tell Al and they were going to like start using me however they were going to use me. Right. Yeah. But that was like the deciding factor in it all. So I'm just, you know, figuring out what I'm going to say to him. And really what it is, it's myself, you know, like, yes, I'm coming in as a character and I'm promoting, but this is really how I feel. You know, at the time they were struggling between if they were going to put like the Rush championship on me, which is like the cruiserweight championship, or if I was going to lose to the guy that had it, you know? So I came in, you know, claiming to want to be the heavyweight champion. And moving forward from that, you know, like just like a couple weeks later, I won the Rush Championship, which is like the Cruiserweight Championship, which then I won 3 more times. So I won it like 4 times. Then I won the Tag Championship, you know, then I won the Heavyweight Championship. And I ended up like speaking that into fruition and kind of, you know, and I thought to myself, like, do I tell him I want to be the Rush Champion because I know that's where we're going? Or do I tell him I want to be the top of the company because that's what I really want? And I feel like just me saying that I want to be Heavyweight Champion, like, and then I became heavyweight champion. Like a lot of people talk about it at OVW, obviously, because we're a small company, you know. But there's not a lot of people that have come in and like I have in 2 years. And, you know, I'm a 6-time champion at OVW, and I came from the bottom of the roster all the way to the heavyweight, you know. And now I battle at EC3 for the national championship, which I just wrestled him on Saturday. Yeah. And unfortunately, I lost, you know. But, you know, I'm going to beat EC3 for that national championship. Like, that is one of my main goals in professional wrestling because, you know, even EC3 started out as kind of a mentor to me. I tagged with him just a year ago. I was tagging with him against Al Snow, you know, and now he's become like my greatest foe. So it's like, it's funny how things become full circle and hard work and being certified. Like I'm certified in professional wrestling, but being certified is being able to, you know, like make something of yourself. And like, I'm the definition of certified. You look at me, you see what certified is about. You know, you watch the way I wrestle, you see what being certified is about. You know, I set the standard for what is certified. I make things certified.
Yeah, I mean, look at the drip here.
That's certified, you know. Yeah. Certified is over, brother. I'm over. That's what certified is. It's like the F word, you know, but it's over. I'm certified. That's why in my entrance it says only I can make you certified because only I can get you over.
Well, you certainly did a great job of getting over on Monday Night Raw a couple of weeks ago. You had the opportunity to be one of the security guards for Chad Gable, and this is a week after the Wyatt 6 debut angle in which we see a heavily bloodied Chad Gable. Tell us a little bit about how that opportunity came about, and then we'll get into kind of what the day of looks like as an extra for WWE.
Yeah, the response from that was insane. Like, I don't know how that happened. Like, it caught fire. Like, I became like a meme, and it was like, dude, it was like hundreds of thousands of views on Twitter, like multiple pages, Facebook. I was like, this is crazy. So many people like, he's the next WWE champion. Yo, it's like, I'm like, this is the greatest joke of all time. 17-time world champion. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And it's funny because it comes off the heels of when they were just in Louisville like 2 weeks ago before Clash of the Castle. They were in Louisville, and I was in the segment holding back Cody Rhodes, and they screenshot and they said one of these 4 guys is going to be WWE champion, and one of them had like long hair, and everybody was like him, but they were circling both of us. You know, they were like future tag champs and stuff. Then Clash of the Castle happens, and the fans or the reporters ask about security guards becoming talent. Because like they had just seen that became like the meme. So then Triple H puts over the security guards, and then like 2 weeks later or a week later, here I am standing there like, with this face that everybody's like, bro, I'm not even that big. I'm big enough, but I'm not that big.
Yeah.
But people are like, the camera makes you look huge. People are like, it's like Wardlow. I'm like, dude, Wardlow's way bigger than me. I'm not even close to as big as Wardlow. But yeah, that was amazing, man. I mean, that was great, funny. You get that opportunity because, like, I tell people, like, you build up trust with WWE, same as any other company. They're producing television, and you never know who you're going to need for the day. So, having good matches and building good relationships and being known as a professional on the independent scene of wrestling or at OVW, whatever it may be, that opens up doors and opportunities to you for where somebody that hires for that can say, hey, we trust this guy. And then once they trust you, they're more inclined to bring you back in because they know that you're going to be a professional, whether they use you, whether they don't use you. You're not going to be running around trying to take pictures with talent, ask for autographs, crazy stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it's a job. I'm at work as well. I'm not maybe getting paid as some of the WWE superstars, but I'm there working as well. So I have a job to do, and it's up to me to be a professional. So once they kind of trust you with that, then opportunities come, and that's how it works. And if I would love to work for the WWE. So I mean, at the end of the day, I have to have them see me and show them that I would like to work there, and you never know where it'll go, man. Like it's one in like a million to work for WWE. It's probably not that much. I don't know how many wrestlers. Maybe there are a million wrestlers. I don't know, or a couple million. Who knows at this point? There's probably so many wrestlers in the world. And like the chance to work for the WWE is slim to none, right? And like to become a superstar, like on that level is even smaller. Like just to get the rub from WWE is crazy. But there is a possibility that we could be revisiting that picture of me standing there one day, and they'll be like, there he is as the security guard. And it's just like as small of a chance it is, like things like that make you think like, oh, well, maybe that could be me one day. They will be looking back like, oh, yeah, look, they do make the best wrestlers, So, I mean, you never know how it's going to go for you, but I guess I just take it one day at a time and I hope for the best. And we'll see, man. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. So what advice would you give to somebody that is an aspiring wrestler that is, just getting that opportunity for the first time to be an extra for WWE? What's the best advice to stand out, but to be mindful of the fact that, like you said, it is a job?
I think that takes time. I think that the first time that you work for WWE, unless you have some crazy look, like people are just going to pass by you. But as you begin to meet people and network throughout wrestling, not at WWE, but as you network throughout wrestling, you start to meet people that have these jobs there, and then they approach you, and then you get used in segments, and then people remember you. They see your face. And I think that the first thing you have to do is if you ever not work, you just got to follow the rules. It's very specific rules. They don't like people bending the rules, breaking the rules, stepping out of line, getting too comfortable. You should never get comfortable at a place like that. You always need to be there working as a professional. So like the best advice is like, don't talk too much. But be present and be visible. Let people see you and just do your job. That's it. Just do what you're asked to do. Like, don't make a scene and lay low, but try to be noticed, try to be visible, try to be in the line of sight, but don't be in the way.
Cool.
Don't be in the way.
Last question about this, and then we'll move on. WWE catering is legendary. What can you tell me about what that is like?
They have the best mac and cheese. If anybody here is listening about that mac and cheese they know that WWE mac and cheese hits, bro. Like, it is crazy. It's like they went down to the South, straight to the hood, and they got the best mac and cheese they could find, and they just got a whole bunch of it, man. I'm telling you, it's got a little smoky taste to it, man. They got the best mac and cheese. But yeah, WWE catering, solid. AEW got good catering too, though. Like,
okay,
yeah.
Like, I mean, it doesn't sound like it's as glowing as the mac and cheese from WWE, but
they throw down too. Pretty much anywhere a wrestler could get some food, they'll be happy. TNA, they'll have Chick-fil-A and stuff, man. TNA got food too. But they've been bringing in a lot more real food and stuff, but. Because they want the wrestlers to be lean, so they want them to be eating chicken and rice. And if I ran a wrestling company, I wouldn't have the food WWE got. They got cake, cookies, bro, everything. And that they're just watching you like, you gonna eat a cookie? That's another
Yep.
thing. Hey, don't eat too many cookies if you're an extra there. You should probably stay away from the cookies. They're like, don't hire that guy. He can't. You're eating all the cookies. That's for the people that are helping build the ring and stuff and set their
Yeah.
production up. That ain't for the talent, man.
Yeah.
Stay away from the cookies, guys.
That was good to know. That would definitely be the death of me. But yeah, no, I mean, so let's talk about the rest of the summer. What do you have coming up? What events that people can check you out at?
So actually, like OVW has closed the doors for a few weeks because they're doing some remodeling. We're getting some AC. So I'm gonna be in Omaha on the 21st, wrestling for Magnum Pro. That's an awesome show. If anybody is in the Nebraska area and you want to see some real good, solid wrestling out there, go to Omaha. I think it's the 20th. It's the 20th, actually. The 19th of July, OVW is wrestling in Lexington, Manchester Music Hall. Lexington is fire. The venue's a music hall. Those sound the best. The crowd is so loud. So we're gonna do it out there on the 19th. I got a few more shows this month. I can't remember exactly what they are, but I'm kind of just resting, relaxing right now, because
Okay.
if you saw the clip of me diving out of the ring and hitting the floor,
Yep.
my shoulder's a little, so it's good that this happened because I have a couple weeks to kind of like rest myself. Well, like a week, because next
Yeah.
weekend OVW has like some house shows. So we're doing house shows, but we're just remodeling the arena. So we're going to be doing throwback episodes and all kinds of like updated content and stuff like that, kind of retelling people's stories while they get everything together. But yeah, right now I'm just focusing on myself. I'm always trying to work on my body. Hopefully I could get some stuff with TNA coming up, some stuff with WWE, AEW. I don't know. We'll see. So like I'm just hustling, trying to do whatever I can do right now. Get good independent bookings. I'm trying to do it all, man. I don't care. I'm just trying to go out there and wrestle and entertain people. And it all just kinds of comes together how it's supposed to come together. So, as long as I do my day to day, Layla right now is prepping for a bodybuilding competition in August. So being at home base is kind of important because we need to kind of stay on the routine of eating, training, sleeping. It's a lot, man. It's a lot that goes into everything that we do. So, just to have a little bit of time off, which is not really time off, that's cool, but we still got stuff this month.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll be out in Nebraska. I'll be out here in Kentucky. And I don't know, man, early next month. I know TNA is in Tampa in August. Hopefully I could be there in Tampa. We'll see. I don't know, man. Yeah, one day at a time. I'm gonna throw that match with EC3 up on my YouTube so people can watch that too.
I like it. I like it. But before we let you go, a couple of things. Money in the Bank is this weekend, coming from Toronto. Any thoughts on who's going to walk away with those briefcases?
Yeah, let's go, Drew.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I just want to see the guy win, bro. To me, Drew is like one of the best guys in WWE. He's legit talent. That is A+ talent, man. I want to see Drew come out on top. And then for the ladies, I think Tiffany Stratton's gonna win it, but we'll see. I think she's gonna do a cool moonsault off of something, hopefully.
Yeah.
Not die. Let's hope that everybody comes out of Money in the Bank healthy, injury free. But they also do some really cool stuff and take some good risks safely. But nothing is ever that safe in wrestling, man. I mean, look, I just dove out of the ring and crashed into the ramp. Like that same thing could happen to them. It's no guarantee that you never know. So big event. I'm excited to watch it. 4th of July. So I'm gonna chill tomorrow, and then I'll be at home this weekend to watch. So it'd be nice to taking a pay-per-view for once.
There you go. Here. Final question I have for you, and it's the toughest one we ask, and everybody gets asked this on this show. There's no right or wrong answer here, but we need your input on this debate. Mr. WrestleMania, is it Shawn Michaels? Is it The Undertaker?
It's Shawn Michaels.
I'll take it. I'll take it. It's just another one for me. Podcast dad's not gonna be too happy about it, but
yeah, it's Shawn Michaels, bro. Because I mean, The Undertaker is amazing. Look. If you ask a big guy, he gonna probably say The Undertaker. But you're asking somebody like me that I try to put in my performances what Shawn Michaels put in his performances. I try to do it all. I try to bring all the energy, all the emotion that I can bring. I lay it all out there. So I'm a huge Heartbreak Kid fan. And I really do believe that he is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's easily the top three from talent, ability, like being over. Like Sean is the man. So it's Sean all day, baby.
Love it. Love it. And I mean, of course, you have this on a day when the podcast dad's not here. I like to rub it in his face sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's okay. I'll get the replay out for him. I'm going to clip this and just text it to him real quick. So,
Yeah. Tag NXT. Let Sean know.
Got you. Luke, thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad we finally got to sit down and do this. I know it took us a while to actually connect and get scheduled, but damn happy that you're here and hope to have you back on soon.
Yeah. We'll definitely do it again, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Before we let you go, where can everybody find you on social media? I know I've had your X handle up here a little bit, but where else are you?
Yeah, so man, I probably could have went live on my channels, dude. I didn't even think about this. So next time we're gonna do this again. We're gonna do it up.
Deal.
We're gonna do it right. So you guys can follow me on Instagram at Certified Luke Kurtis, all one word. Twitter is Certified LK because Twitter don't let you have so many characters.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the best thing, great way to support me is subscribe to my YouTube. Watch a match, watch another match. I have all my OVW matches up there, and there's a lot of great work in there if you want to go back and kind of see what I do. Yeah, and that's the best way. Follow me on socials, reach out, catch me at a show, and watch my matches on YouTube, man. And hopefully I'll be bringing out some more content for you guys. I'm only trying to work on new stuff, but I'm so busy, which is not a good excuse, but I'm using it right now. So I'm glad I could do this though, and hopefully connect with some people. And I'm glad, to be here. So thank you, dude.
Absolutely no. Thank you again. That's going to do it for us. As always, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hit that QR code in the top left corner. Like, share, subscribe. We are trying to get to 1,000 subs on YouTube by the end of the year, and we need your help to do it. So again, if you know one person that would enjoy our show, please share it with them. We're live. I mean, how many other wrestling podcasts are live 4 nights a week or give you live episodes every time? That's what we do. So yeah, make sure to support us, buy some merch, use our WWE shop affiliate link if you need some new WWE swag. But that is going to do it for this first half of our doubleheader of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. We'll be back at 8:30 tonight with Anakin Murphy. We're going to be talking some more Scenic City Invitational. Once again, that show is sponsored in part by the Wrestling Junkies podcast. So cannot wait to talk about his upcoming match. We'll see y'all at 8:30. Luke, just stick around for a quick second after we go off here. But that's going to do it for us. We'll be back in about 90 minutes.